Hey everybody, and welcome to Leia's Lair. Here's our review of Star Wars The Book of Boba Fett, Episode 6, From the Desert Comes a Stranger. Okay, so what we liked and didn't like about the episode. So I liked seeing Cobb Vanth back in action. He's off stopping the Pikes from delivering their spice.
Yeah, I was actually surprised that it started with Cobb Vanth at the beginning of this episode. I guess since the last episode left off with Mando getting recruited to go help Boba. So we take a little detour and get to see Cobb Vanth, which is kind of cool. I guess it was only a matter of time before we saw him. But yeah, this episode has a lot, so let's just, I guess, start unpacking this. Right after that, Mando's off in his Naboo starfighter heading to an unknown planet. Lo and behold, who's there to meet him? R2-D2.
Of course, yeah. And he's just as sassy as ever.
Right? Oh, I love R2. Yeah, and it's so cool because as soon as we show up, it has that little scene where you think that there's a big rock floating.
Yeah.
But then it's actually just all these droids that are actually building Luke's temple, which is wild. I can't believe, we're always wondering how they're going to tie this into the sequels and what's going on with that, and we're getting to see that. We're getting to see his temple being built there, which is kind of cool. And yeah, and the cameos don't even stop there.
No, next we get Ahsoka. Like, what has Ahsoka been up to since season 2 of The Mandalorian? Nobody knows, but she's on the planet with Mando and Luke and Grogu, so...
Right, she's just chilling there. I'm like, oh, okay, she's just hanging out. All right, that's cool.
Just being wise, being like, oh, you can't see him, he's too attached to you.
Yeah. It's so cool to see Ahsoka there. And then, yeah, we get to see Grogu and Luke. And, yeah, I did not think that we would see this much of them, to be honest, and everything that we saw. So it's really cool. I just feel like the show has almost become like Mandalorian season 3.
Right, the last 2 episodes for sure. Like, I didn't expect to see Grogu or Luke, or definitely not Ahsoka until at the earliest Mandalorian season 2. So it was definitely a nice surprise to see them in this episode. And of course, Grogu's back to his antics of trying to eat all the frogs, and that was so comical. Luke just shows him up so badly.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because we get to see that training aspect of where it's like roles are reversed. Instead of Yoda teaching Luke, it's now Luke teaching Grogu.
Yoda, yeah.
And it's so cool because we still get the same scene of Luke doing his scene, jumping around, doing his back flips or front flips and all that.
Right, with Grogu in his backpack instead of Yoda. That was so funny.
How the times have changed. And it doesn't even stop there.
No.
Everyone keeps wondering, where's Grogu from and what's going on with him and from where did he come from, And then Luke shows that his vision of Grogu at the temple, which is wild. He's just like, you want to see where you're from? And at first I thought maybe it would go before that and show maybe his planet, but I was like, no, they wouldn't do that.
It's too secret.
So they wouldn't do George Lucas like that. And then of course they show the Order 66 vision of him at that temple and you wonder, I guess, who jumps in. I'm wondering if we're gonna get more scenes of that. Maybe
I kind of hope
Mando
so.
season 3 or something like that would be kind of cool. But maybe we'll get some more flashback stuff as he trains or something. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, because he was snuck out of the Jedi Temple. I was under the impression when they said that back in Mando season 2 that it was before Order 66, not during. So that was a bit of a surprise to me that he was just right there in the action as all the Jedi were getting taken down.
Yeah. And then you wonder, because everyone's like, who saves him? Is it Anakin who saves him? And so there's all these pieces coming in that I don't know. It'd be so cool to see a little bit more of that. Even though we got 10 seconds of it, it was pretty cool.
Right.
And then there's that whole scene was great. And then we kind of go back to, oh, wait, this is Boba's show. Do we get to see Boba in this episode?
He makes a 30-second appearance.
Right.
His cameo was shorter than Ahsoka Tano's in this episode.
Right. The Book of Ahsoka.
Yeah.
So we get to see Boba and Mando kind of reunite, and they have their game plan for what's going on with the Pikes.
Got to get some muscle.
Yeah, so you know that there's going to be, a lot of action going on in the next episode. The last one, so it's got to be a big episode, right? And so Mando's off trying to recruit. He goes to Freetown, as it's called now.
No longer Mos Pelgo.
No, goes to Freetown. Pays a visit to Cobb Vanth, of course. And now this is just wild because it's not even 2 seconds after Mando leaves. He's like, okay, see you, Cobb. Let me know if you can help out. And he's like, okay, bye. And then he looks over, and then
literally
you see a figure
literally from the desert comes a stranger.
Yeah. So the episode title, From the Desert Comes a Stranger. And who do we get? We get none other than
Cad Bane.
Yeah. And it's just like, yeah.
He was scary. His teeth really freaked me out. They were like all pointy and creepy, and
his eyes glow.
His live action debut, that was wild, but the voice is just like,
and it's kind of fitting because he is this kind of Western guy, right? He's got his pistols, he's got his cowboy hat, so what better place to put him in than a high noon showdown?
But he's also got quite a history with Boba Fett as well. So there's only a matter of time until the two of them.
And it's just gonna get more intense. I feel there's got to be like some big showdown between Cad Bane and Boba.
Showdown 2.0 or
I don't know this. Just thinking about it's gonna be I don't know what to expect, but it's gonna be over the top.
That was just crazy. I just can't believe that he's made into live action now. Like, he looked pretty good. Like, they did him pretty well. He was a little lighter than I expected him to be. I thought he'd be a bit more blue.
Well, he's tanning in the desert.
Yeah, exactly.
But everything about Cad Bane's character, I love it. Like his voice is just it's so cool.
And he takes down Cobb Vanth, so we're gonna have to see if good old Cobb is A-okay from that shootout.
Yeah, it's like he kind of gets hit in the side. So you're like, oh, is he dead? Like, did they just kill off Cobb Vanth? Like, I don't know. They could have.
His deputy, for sure.
His deputy. It's like funny. Cobb Vanth gets shot like once, maybe in the shoulder, and then his deputy's like 10 times in the chest. Like, can you imagine? Like, there's no way that deputy is alive.
No way.
But then Cobb Vanth, you're like, okay, he got hit once in the shoulder or something.
Alive.
He could be alive.
Yeah.
But like that, your deputy's like, nah.
Yeah.
He's gone.
But it just goes to show that Cad Bane's just as badass as he ever was.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The amount of cameos in this episode, it's just like, it's like I feel like I still have to digest the amount of cameos that were in this episode.
Right.
I feel like we've never got that many cameos in any of the Mandalorian, or anything like that. So yeah,
it's definitely more drawn out in the Mandalorian. It's like one cameo per episode.
Like you wait 2 seasons, you get like Luke at the end, and it's wild. And then now they're like, oh yeah, Luke, you can have like basically this whole episode. You can we'll throw in some Cad Bane, we'll throw in some Ahsoka. What else you want?
Literally, I was waiting for Han Solo to be in the cantina.
Right? Oh, that'd be. I think that'd be a bit too much. Yeah. But yeah, speaking of cantina, Pike's sending that message of exploding the cantina.
Ooh, yeah, that was kind of sad. Poor cantina.
Yeah. So, I hope the cantina band was out of there.
Yeah, me too.
We got to keep that music going. And then it finishes with that wild scene. Of course they're gonna finish with it. They're gonna show you. And last time we're like, oh, I wonder what that gift is gonna be. And of course it's almost like a mithril.
Totally,
armor.
For the Lord of the Rings fans.
Like,
that's exactly what it looked like to me.
Yeah, so it's not like your typical Mandalorian armor. It was like kind of like that like that knight's armor, which is kind of cool. But it's strong as hell with being Beskar. But he gets a choice. It's either that or he gets Yoda's lightsaber.
Right.
Like, none other than like Yoda. He's got a tough decision to make, right?
It's hard to say. As soon as they were like sitting down there, I knew immediately that that's exactly what he was going to do. Like, you have to choose one or the other. And it's like obviously want him to choose to train as a Jedi because that's what, like, the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian were about. We're getting him to that point. But at the same time, you also kind of want him to just choose the armor and go back with Mando so we can have a cute third season of Mando with Baby Yoda and Mando together.
Right. And you know, it's gonna be wild because, you know, there's a lot of people like, oh, is Grogu at the temple when, you know, it gets destroyed by the Knights of Ren and all that stuff, or what's gonna happen with that? And it's
an easy out would be to make him go back with Mando. Just saying.
You know, I feel like the fans would want that to happen. It would, you know, everyone who wants Grogu and Mando to be united. And at the same time, it'd also be cool to see him, you know, with Yoda's lightsaber. I feel like there's got to be some way that he can have both.
Right. Maybe he'll choose the lightsaber and then eventually go back to Mando.
Maybe he'll just, like, grab both and he'll be like, all right, like, is this okay, Luke? You know? Maybe Luke will set some new rules of the new Jedi Order. Maybe he'll be like, yeah, you can have attachments. It's all
no
good.
problem.
Yeah, you know. Maybe we'll throw in some Mara Jade in there, you know. Maybe Luke's got his own kids going on. Like, who knows, right?
Yeah. Needless to say, the end was just crazy. This whole episode was just crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot to digest.
So in terms of a rating, I'm going to give this episode an 8 out of 10. I really did love all of the cameos, and it was great to see what Grogu was up to. Cool to see his Order 66 scene. I mean, Cad Bane made his live-action debut. That was awesome. But I did think it was quite a lot going on in one episode. And there's still not very much going on about Boba, and this is the Book of Boba Fett, so I am looking forward to seeing, you know, how his plotline gets wrapped up, or like semi-wrapped up in the next episode. So yeah, 8 out of 10.
Nice. Yeah, I'm also going to give this episode an 8 out of 10. We had, like we said, a lot of cameos. We got Cobb Vanth, R2, Grogu, Luke, Ahsoka, Cad Bane, like, you know, the list goes on. And yeah, it was really cool to see, you know, that insight into Grogu, a bit more of Grogu's backstory with Order 66. You know, we got to see Yoda's lightsaber in here. We got to see Luke's temple. There's just a lot going on in this episode. And I'm still trying to digest, you know, just what happened with everything. Like, it was a wild episode. So, and I can't even wait for next week to see, you know, how this is going to finish off. Yeah. You know, and what's gonna happen. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be Boba and Cad Bane fight at the end or something like that.
That would be wild. I'd be into it though.
Yeah. So yeah, 8 out of 10.
And there you have it. Thanks for watching, everyone. What did you think of this episode of the Book of Boba Fett? Let us know down below in the comment section. And remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more great videos to come. We hope to see you all again in Leia's Lair.
You are not a Jedi yet.